Welcome, everybody, to this week's Distressed Property Call. This podcast and broadcast is brought to you by Home Loan Advocates. That's right, my partner David Bartels at Home Loan Advocate. They specialized in distressed property solutions for buyers, sellers, investors, and realtors across the country. Doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter the situation you're in. If you're working on a distressed property and you need some assistance, call 805-413-8000. Again, that number is 805-413-8000. Ask for David Bartels or visit homeloanadvocates.com. Or if you'd like, send David an email at david@homeloanadvocates.com. This episode is also brought to you by Monster Marketing. That's right. That's the reason this call started and why we do it each and every week. Monster Marketing. It is a direct marketing method that I created to get face-to-face with people that have missed payments. It's literally 3% of the market, some more in other areas, but Monster Marketing guarantees face-to-face results with these people. We will give you proven step-by-step coaching, training, and mentoring so that you can convert those individuals into listings or deals, depending on being a realtor or investor. If you would like to find out more, go visit Honish.com. That's HONISH.com. Hi, everybody. Welcome to your weekly broadcast. Lee Honish, David Bartels, bringing you the wonderful world of distressed properties amid a coronavirus world. I am joined by David Bartels. He is the owner, operator of Home Loan Advocates, 805-413-8000. I've now memorized it because I've done so much marketing lately. That's what you do with your spare time. You do more marketing. My name is Lee Honish. I am a marketer. My job is to get leads for my clients. You can call me at 858-663-2537. Just send me a text message. I'll be happy to get back to you. Or go to my website, honish.com, fill out the form. Let's do a one-on-one. It'll be great. David, tell everybody about Home Loan Advocates.
Well, Home Loan Advocates is a national organization of like-minded real estate professionals, both agents and investors, who are interested in helping homeowners make sure they understand the alternatives to foreclosure and to help them execute the alternative that is best suited for that homeowner. And that means helping them postpone foreclosures and getting loan modifications and selling their house. And so we provide the modification services for free. We provide the foreclosure postponement stuff for free. And then if they need to sell their house, then obviously we earn the typical fees associated with buying or selling a house with or for a homeowner. So along the way, we end up doing a lot of short sale negotiations in order to make that happen. And that's where we can probably assist you. Our number is 805-413-8000, 805-413-8000. Of course, David at homeloanadvocates.com.
If you guys want to get involved, I'm going to hit the screen. I'm going to turn it on right here. First and foremost, you guys, I hate doing this. So it leaves a big dark hole on the screen. You can go to coachingcalls.info if you're listening to this or you're watching a video, whatever the case. It is a link, and you can be on this live every Wednesday at 10 o'clock with us. You can also scroll down and find all of our back episodes. David and I are committed to creating good content for people to watch during our little hiatus. We're on week number 6 right now. So again, if you want to get involved, if you want to go watch back episodes, go to coachingcalls.info. It'll take you to our go-to stage. You'll also find a link where you can go and register and be on this call live every Wednesday and Tuesday. Again, you can go to homeloanadvocates.com for David. All of his information's there. And as I said, honish.com. It's kind of a video episode. Let's just start off with the real basics right now. All right, we're at week 6, David. On Monday, we were talking about this before we started. I watched literally a rash. That's not a good word in this current climate. Glutton is not correct either for all of you on lockdown gaining weight. Let's go with there were a lot of. That's what I used to say as a kid. How much do you want of that? I want a lot of. A lot of videos. I was commenting to a friend on Monday who asked, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Watching really bad realtor videos on creating and branding their product," right? I get that everybody's doing something. Okay, I'm not trying to crap on that for everybody who thinks I'm talking directly to them, especially on this call, or even possibly friends who are watching this video. And I'm thinking of one friend in particular who made one of the most horrific videos that I've ever seen in my life. And I didn't even have the nerve to like send him a text and go, "Yeah, that was bad. That was really bad." So I want to talk about it in regards to us being homeowner advocates. First and foremost, on the screen, as I am a homeowner advocate, as many people are they aware of homeloanadvocates.org and the branding behind that? David, maybe you want to talk about that for a second, because you've already
Well,
kind of got a built-in system here.
yeah, maybe not. I mean, the homeloanadvocates.org, and the truth, it's updated. I just have to find that. I just have to stop and go ahead and approve the changes. But homeloanadvocates.org is the consumer-based site. That's where we send consumers who want more information about alternatives to foreclosure. It's very generic. It's very helpful, and a lot of our coaching students use that as well to create third-party validation for their affiliation with home loan advocates. And that's as opposed to homeloanadvocates.com, whereby is more agent or investor coaching focused.
Good. So since all of you guys decided to start being public and being present on videos, I'm going to use myself as a guinea pig in my coronavirus outfit and show you how simple it is to do this video. David's going to coach me through this and help me write the script. Literally, it needs to be 3 minutes and 1 second. All I got to do is point them at that website to build credibility and make sure I get my phone number. But with that said, let's cover this. I'm going to turn on my camera shamelessly. Hi, everyone. That's me. That's my camera. You are literally in my living room. There's the infamous counting crows and all the tickets. This is not a good photo. First of all, it's just not. The first thing I want to point out, I use a camera that's higher up than everybody else. This is a second party. If you see me looking down, this is the number one mistake. We talked about this last week, David, the eye contact. If you're going to shoot a video, let's start right here. If you're going to shoot a video, shoot eye contact.
Right.
This is no good. This never looks good. This looks like I'm looking at my cell phone. You've been doing, have you been very present of that with your presentations? And you're getting more and more comfortable behind the camera, I should say. I've watched a lot of your videos. How long did it take you before you could do this all the time?
It takes a lot of practice. I mean, a lot of my videos are really rough. You know, they're designed to be rough, and most of it, I think that the number one reason is that I just am rushing.
Yeah,
So I'm just trying to get the content out and just get onto the next task. And it's better to take your time, take a deep breath, not put yourself under a lot of time pressure, and have a conversation with the camera. That is way more important. What you're wearing is not important unless it's inappropriate. What your background is not really that important unless it's inappropriate. I and you know, you can argue with what the length of the video should or shouldn't be, but the bottom line, it ought to be long enough for you to get your message across. And no video or content really of any type should be generated without starting with what the objective is. So you got to start, what is it you're trying to accomplish? And then everything that you do is simply designed to get them to do that. And a big mistake is, well, I want them to, the objective is to get them to list their house with me. You're not going to do that in a video. You got to think about what's the next logical step. So the next logical step is, I'd like them to have a free over the phone consultation. So I might give them, so in the video that I was doing, if I just wanted to have a free over the phone consultation with them, and the idea there is to lower the barrier to entry, create a risk-free environment in which they might have a conversation. And then from there, we might be able to expand the relationship or nurture the relationship and expand the opportunities. And so maybe after an in-person meet or a over the phone meeting, maybe it ends up being an in-person meeting or a Zoom meeting, or maybe it results in me dropping a package off and spending a few minutes reviewing it with them. Maybe it's to give them a free home valuation, whatever it is. But you've got to think about the sales process in terms of step, and the content you're creating at this moment is designed to get people to take some very specific next logical step action. And to go further than the next logical step is only going to result in you not being successful with what you're trying to do and overselling it.
I'm going to give you guys some technical help here because the videos that I saw not only had bad content, which I might forgive if it was shot correctly. First of all, I'm going to show you your best $5 investment. See this little thing right here? This is just literally a halogen desk lamp. And the reason I use an LED desk lamp, it lights up my face. Too many times do I watch people shoot dark videos that just look unpromising. You can adjust the light accordingly. I realize it whites you out, but the truth of high definition video, which is all of these cameras, you're looking at 1080. It's going to pick everything up. If you want to use makeup, use makeup. If you're a guy and you can't do it, I also recommend glasses if you wear them. Wear them. Higher conversion rate. Sorry. Secondly, pet peeve. Buy a microphone. Buy a real microphone. This is a pile. It's designed to look like an antique. But what I normally get out of people, and I'll do the difference, this is a monstrous pet peeve. People switch out to something like this. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me like this with that weird echo? Does that come through, David? Like that weird, I'm using the desktop. Yeah, there's a huge difference. I'm using, this is a condensed microphone. You can invest in $100 lovely Snowball Yeti products, more or less. They're great. Don't get caught up in this. This one's $29. Works like a charm. It's actually USB. It's condensed. It works. I also have a mix. The stuff that gives it a more professional sound. This is a more professional sound. Okay. That echoey, I'm using my laptop and I'm using the camera here instead of spending an extra $40 to get a Logitech. The third pet peeve, before we get to the content, I'm going to show this. Everyone does this. They shoot this background. Okay. Me up against a wall. You're going to get weird reflections, things like that. Watch closely. This is just a backdrop that I paid $20 for. But when you pull it in tight, I now have a professional backdrop. I realize you can see my tough enough gloves. It's also a Fight Net radio backdrop, but I digress. I can pull this in, and now I have a real backdrop. This is far more professional. What I've watched people shooting in their house against their wall, kids you can hear in the background, phones going off. It's not that hard. A light, a $20 backdrop, an extra camera, a decent microphone. Now you can start talking about it. Now, if you're talking clothing, I do have a colored shirt in case we were actually going to run this exercise. I guarantee as we speak, David's wearing a collared shirt, ready to go, could shoot a video. I just happen to be in my coronavirus pajamas at the moment. It is Mickey. With all that said, David, what have your messages been like for shooting right now?
Well, the last video I shot was last Monday, and the message was how coronavirus was affecting local real estate.
Good.
And that was, it's been very well received, frankly. So that particular video was basically a short video saying this is what's happening. Buyers and sellers are still active, and they want to. I don't know where it is. You might find it on the Help Yourself page better, but you'll see we're doing a lot of we're doing a lot of here. That's it right there.
The
2,000
last
people
one
look
that
at
just
it.
came up. Okay, this one. That's good hits.
Yeah,
it's really good hits.
And I haven't even been looking at it. So
Right.
basically, it's a short video on just my thoughts of what's going on. And so, I create it in a format. I can upload it to upload it to YouTube, which makes it easy to send in an email, to send it in a text, to drop it on all social media platforms, and get people, looking at it. And basically, it just says, hey, this is what's happening. If you're interested in finding how it might affect you, call us for a free over-the-phone consultation, and we'd be happy to tell you how this might apply to you. So whether or not you're a buyer or a seller. So, that's kind of where we are. But it's a simple concept, and I just looked in the camera and shared my thoughts about how Corona was impacting local markets. Now it's been changing, so I probably need to do a new one. And I've been monitoring the data, and the fact is that there's been a big uptick in activity again. Both there's more listings and there's even more buyers now, which is designed to encourage people to get going because they don't want to miss out. So if you're looking for some business now, give them a reason to do business now.
I agree. So going back to shooting videos, which everybody's doing the I'm your help. They're going for every angle imaginable. I feel like I should put on a colored shirt for this next part. And if your light's too bright, bounce it off your walls. Give yourself some color, people. That's why you want an angular light. Now I actually have color and look like a human being and not a vampire. So let's start off with the basics of a video and break it down step by step. Again, eye contact, good microphone, good posture. Don't wear headphones. I'm listening to David. It's ridiculous. I watched people wearing headphones who were making videos, which pet peeve of mine. Okay, nobody's there. This should be the look. This should be the straightforward look. Nice, clean black backdrop. Doesn't even have to be any particular color. So start right off of the gate. Hi, my name's Lee Honish. You can reach me at, and you've seen me do this format, everybody. And please, if you're ever going to shoot content, tag at the beginning, tag in the middle, tag at the end. It's kind of a radio thing. So at the beginning, my name's Lee Honish. I am a homeowner advocate. You can reach me at 858-663-2537. Check out my website, homeloanadvocates.org. I am here to help you through the coronavirus situation, right? Many of you are trying to figure out forbearance agreements or what to do next in regards to payments. Stop me for right there, David. From an intro standpoint, how much do I want to get off my chest?
Well, I think that you need to. I think you need to produce good TV, and and in the sense that you want to kind of leave them wanting more. So you want to state them right away. So an intro might be, hey, David Bartels, I'm a homeowner advocate in this in the Westlake Village community, in the Ventura County community, and I work with homeowners who are facing foreclosure to make sure they understand what the alternatives of foreclosure are. And today I want to talk to you about some of the pros and cons of how forbearance agreements are working, and how they may, and what seems like something that might be very helpful to you might also harm you in ways you wouldn't expect. Bam. So you want to get kind of get out what it is that you want to talk about right up front, so that you can engage them to watch the rest of the video.
Now, the next big trick before we move to the next section, which is the actual content, you can't be afraid of the actual content. This is another weirdo pet peeve of mine. Ums, ahs, and gaps. This is me of doing years of radio. It's really hard. It's really hard.
It is really hard.
Doing as many podcasts as I do. I probably do more physical content than everybody on this call combined on a weekly basis. And I'm still telling you, I have to watch gaps, long gaps, What I saw on Monday out of people who are brand new to this, instead of going back and editing, right? I watched people put in ums and ahs and repeat themselves quite frequently. So you need to be aware of that. I'm not saying that you need a full script out or you need a script behind you. I'm saying be natural. I've watched almost everybody who's on this call, and I've watched David. I've watched friends who are very competent people talk to homeowners, like literally in settings where they can walk up and engage people and start a conversation, and you're not umming and ahhing during that conversation. So what's the breakdown? It's the fact that nobody's here. That's the scary part. I get it. And as for many pieces of content that I do, the weirdest part is always getting started. So don't be afraid to burn a few minutes of your video before you actually start and get involved and start to look at the homeowner. And remember, you're looking at a homeowner having a conversation and making sure you get that starter. So let's move into the next section of this, David, right? Good introduction, strong, taking out ums and ahs and gaps, really hard. Good mic, good backdrop, colored shirt. I know I'm not wearing it. I'm not walking around the screen to go get it. I would normally. There's an ah. See, it happens to all of us. How familiar do I have to be with my geo-targeted area? So if I was doing this for Oceanside, for me right now, the things that I could talk confidently about right now are, I know the statistics. I know how many people are suffering. I know what the unemployment rates are. I know that the beaches and the parks are closed. I know how long that's closed. How much of that content am I bringing to the table if I'm qualifying myself as an expert right now?
Well, it depends. It depends on what your objective is. So if your objective is to have them call you, you might withhold some information. If you're just doing a public service announcement and you just, want and you want good PSA as to be part of your brand, then you might deliver all of it to them. So, say, hey, listen, this is a public service announcement. As a local resident of Oceanside, California, I've been wondering when life was going to get back to normal, and I thought you might be interested to know what I found out. Bam. And then you kind of roll into it. So if that's just a PSA, that may be a way that you start. The other way maybe is you want them to call you to do something. So it might be more housing related. And it might start out as the good news is beaches are reopening here on this date. Restaurants might open here, but real estate is open right now. So I found it interesting when I did the research that these are the number of transactions that have been taking place right now in an environment where you think that none were happening. And then you maybe break down the statistics and say, hey, if you're trying to figure out whether or not now's the right time or you want to wait till after the pandemic, we should talk and see what your situation is and see whether or not now is better than later, something like that. That might be your call to action.
I agree. In fact, what I've been seeing there, I put the colored shirt on for everybody to let you know that it's not that hard to pull. Right? I do own one. I feel like Mark Harmon in summer school. What was the line? I bet you don't even own socks. I do. 2 of them. I think they're white. Best line ever. So what I was watching with most people, right? You're branding yourself to your area. I'm in Orange County. I'm in Irvine. I'm in Oceanside. Whatever the case may be, then do a daily update. Do 3 minutes, right? Bring news up. I talk about it all the time. I am obsessed with smart news. It is my new favorite thing right now, literally on my iPhone, pretty much all the time. And the biggest thing about smart news, and I'll show it to you. I don't need to be the expert. It's not going to come through without being too bright. I have an Oceanside tab, which will tell me all the Oceanside updates. It's as simple as that. If I have Oceanside updates, then it's not hard for me to figure out a topic. There you go. San Diego County sees deadliest days of pandemic. Great. I've got my topic to make my content about. If you're doing content and you're doing it consistently and you're branding your content consistently, then you can shoot videos and make them effective. What I suspect is going to happen for everybody who shot videos on Monday and Tuesday, thinking that they were getting into the business of doing content officially on social media or however they were going to do it, you're going to find out that it's not a one and done process. I can safely discuss this by showing David's. I'll show you David's stuff. David doesn't do anything that is. There's always content being put out. I just had this conversation with a client on Friday. It's always about putting content out. You don't have a choice on the topic ever. You don't ever have a choice on the content going out. How much content do you think you're putting out every week, David?
Not as much. I mean, I put a lot of content out, but not doing a lot of video content. Now we're pushing content every day, every single day, and most days multiple things. And so, I just think it's really important. I mean, my number one thing, especially if you're a real estate agent, is don't be a secret agent. In other words, you need to communicate in various ways that you are, an agent, because the whole idea of marketing, whether or not it's on social media or on TV, running national ads, the whole objective is to be top of mind at that precise moment they decide they want to talk to somebody about real estate. Okay. And when they start thinking about real estate, whether or not someone's asking for a referral, or they've got a question, or they want to buy a house, or they want to sell a house, you want them to automatically think of you as somebody they should at least have a conversation with. And you can't do that by assuming that you're friends and that when they're ready they'll just call you, because that's not true. Even with me, with all my posting, I still have friends doing business with other people for reasons I shouldn't take personally, but I do take it personally.
Right.
So
I get it.
I expect people, if I've got a trusted relationship, not just because they know me, but because I don't think that anybody's going to do as good a job as somebody else is going to do. I don't think that they're going to get as much value or expertise from anybody else. And I just go into all my communication with everybody assuming that, we're the best. And if you use anybody else, it's going to be a mistake. And why I don't say that, that's my messaging.
Insert gratuitous plug here. David, tell everybody about Home Loan Advocates.
Well, Home Loan Advocates is an organization that works with real estate professionals who are looking to do more transactions, especially in the area of distressed properties. So we teach you how to make sure that consumers understand the alternatives of foreclosure, and we negotiate short sale transactions so that you can focus on more productive activities like generating new business. And most of the time, the fees that we generate are paid for by the bank and cost the agent nothing. My number is 805-413-8000, 805-413-8000, and email is david@homeloanadvocates.com.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lee Honish. That's me, the guy who put the collared shirt on, who guinea pigged and wore his Corona jammies in front of you. I am a marketing professional. I would like to believe that I'm the foremost leading authority on real estate marketing. I could have a vote now amongst my peers and probably be voted the number one real estate marketer in the country. I'm not going to go out on a limb, but I'm pretty sure I can get one vote. And therefore, voted number one. Please, everyone, go watch really good marketing videos. With all that said, if you want help putting together videos, if you want to do a podcast, if you want leads, if you want monster marketing, you want to be a part of these calls, or you just want some advice, go to honish.com, fill out the form, honish.com. That's honish.com, or call me, 858-663-2537. Send me a text, let me know, and I will get back to you, and we will have a discussion. Moving forward, let's talk about putting content on a page. The second thing I want to talk about, David and I don't normally shoot video on this call, and you guys, again, some of you are very awkward on camera. Please don't take that the wrong way. And I know there are people that are going to either watch this or listen to this going, Lee, you watched my video and you think I'm terrible. I might not be talking about you. I really did watch a lot of videos on Monday and Tuesday, and they were all incredibly awkward. I'm going to show you something that David and I do. What you're looking at is my business page where I post this show every week. This is just one of our regular broadcasts. As you can see, it's running. There is no video. It's just a picture of David and a picture of me. Both of us looking relatively good in the photo, with information tagged about the actual podcast. We reached 615 people. We engaged 71. I'd call that a win. I didn't really do any marketing with that. Not everything you're going to do is going to be a home run. It's just not. I mean, I've done stuff with David. This is a really big deal. People get really discouraged. You want numbers like this. You want to reach 1,500 people, have 154 people click. You really want these super high engagements. I get it. It's harder than it looks. First of all, this is a body of work where David and I have produced video after video after video after video of us talking about distressed property. You cannot expect on your first video, podcast, whatever, meme, for God's sakes, meme, your first meme. Do not expect your very first piece to go viral. I say this to all my clients when it comes to adding content, especially right now. If you get 10 or 20 people looking at you, looking at your phone number, I'd call it a win. David, do you obsess about the numbers? I know that you boost and you've got a girl who works on your stuff. Do you ever obsess over view rates and engagement rates?
I'm not sure obsess is the right word, but I certainly pay attention, especially when I feel like we've gotten really great content. So, and it's content that I want people to hear, stuff that I'm proud of. I really want people to see it. Like if you go to Full Service Realty there, and I've got a post that's got 40,000 views, on it. So, and it's only been running a couple of months, and we boosted it sometimes and that kind of thing. But it's exactly the kind of thing that we're trying to accomplish. So
this is a solid rate. So this is a solid rate right here from April 13th. You're reaching 4,000 people. That's a solid number. And 224 people actually engaged it. By the way, that's not actual view rates. Engagement means they actually stopped to watch the video and clicked on something. I think that's where everybody gets confused. Right. 147 links clicked. Yeah, those are really solid numbers. And you're talking about hundreds of people being exposed to the help you sell message that you sold this house on you've got it up for a virtual tour. You're engaging people to your message, right? And that's really what's important. I can't even stress how important it is to get, if you're getting 100 people a day or 50 people a day learning your name and your phone number and the area you're in, you're winning the game. You are. It's going to pay off. It's going to take time, but it's going to pay off.
Right. So scroll down and see if you can find our Smart Buyer Plus video.
Hold on. Let me go to your video page. It's usually the quickest way.
There it is right there.
Right there. Yeah, 70,000 views. 13 weeks.
In 13 weeks.
That's awesome.
So, but only 8 likes, right? So who cares?
Right. Well, it wasn't very good, David. It didn't have likes and it didn't have shares. I get this all the time, especially with some of the podcasts that I produce, right? Where you put your love and your sweat into them and they go, nobody liked it. I said, Yeah, but 50,000 people watched it. I don't really care. It's
Right.
kind of a win in my book.
Right. And, this is something that we boost, but when boosting doesn't cost thousands of dollars, I think we spend like $5 a day or something like that.
Right.
I'd pay $5 a day to have, how many views a day is that? You know, over 13, over 13 weeks. So, you're getting, I don't know,
You're getting you're
500,
getting you're getting four times the
five
exposure number, so
five
it's you're
thousand
getting yeah.
views a week, right? So almost so you get 600-700 views a day of a product that differentiates you. It's got good branding in the background, and it's got a terrific message as well. So
It's got everything you need. It's got all
yeah,
the correct.
I'm blown away. I thought I'm blown away by the number of views it has. I had no idea. This is the one I said was 40,000 because last time I looked at it a couple of weeks ago, that's what it hasn't. It does, and is that what happens? It just, it's
Yeah.
once it starts to get so many views, I think
So
Facebook puts it in front of more and more people, and it starts to expand exponentially, I guess.
okay, so the definition of viral for all of you out there wondering, how do I get something viral? And I've had 3 viral pieces in my life that have done millions and millions of views. The magic number is 100,000, David. At 100,000, I wouldn't pay for another hit because everybody who likes it, who views it, not likes it, just views it, it's now showing up exposed to their timeline. Okay. So
Right.
and so watch this. It would be great if you got what Facebook seems to be into is likes and comments, which you're not getting because that's not what the piece is, right? But every time you get another view and you hit another boost, and the next time what you want to do is friends and friends of friends who viewed it. Okay. So that will keep the piece going viral within itself in a geo-targeted area. And that's what you kind of have to keep an eye on at this point. When it gets to 100,000, it could run on its own, theoretically.
Right.
I don't know if the topic itself is compelling enough on a national level since you've key tagged it directly to your metro. But the point of it being 70,000 people knowing help you sell within the Conejo Valley, that's a win. And your name. This is kind of overkill-ish. That's not really a Facebook thing. That's an Instagram thing. But with all that said, theoretically, somebody could run a search for those cities on Facebook. Their search pattern doesn't really run quite as well on that particular topic. But beyond that, this is a complete win. I would boost it 1 or 2 more times to friends and friends of friends, and then 1 more geo-targeted before the end of the run. And if you get over 100,000 views, you win. The thing is there a conversion rate? Are people clicking on this? And if you know your numbers here, then you can gauge. And as long as you're hitting 0.5% to 1% where people are clicking through to learn about the Smart Buyer program, then I would call it all a win. That's the game. That's the whole game online. This is literally a squeeze page setup for those of you who don't understand what a real funnel looks like. Here's your bait and your content. Here's the click. The click takes me into the funnel. The funnel is going to do what it needs to do here to get me to give up my information, which goes back to where we talked about several weeks ago. The bait's good. The bait's got people around the boat at 70,000 views. And as long as you're hitting that 0.05 to 1%, because those numbers don't change. They don't change if you're mailing. They don't change if you're cold calling. They don't change if you're door knocking. There's no magic cure except for monster marketing. Visit Honish.com. But with that said, the truth is, all we're doing is trying to play the game of finding the 0.5% to the 1% that want this information right now and want to learn more. And as long as you're hitting it and you're keeping an honest assessment of your metrics, does your call to action need to be stronger in the video? Does my funnel need to be stronger? Any of those things. But as long as you're 70,000 is great. If the last time you looked was in a couple of weeks, I wouldn't touch it. I'd give it 1 week on its own, and if it's still climbing on its own, wait. But I would do friends of friends next, And that might boost this thing through the roof and get you over the 100,000. And at 100,000, it should theoretically go viral. At least get you another 100,000 on its own, long term. But to get to the millions, David, it has to be something stupid. It really, like Jeffrey Epstein, it has to be a trending topic. Like this has to be almost a coronavirus special, how to do a forbearance video in 3 minutes. If you had this number on a forbearance agreement and how to contact you to get free forbearance, like that would go viral and that would like blow up on a pretty epic scale.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
it's trending topic.
Yeah, so forbearance. Let me just tell you a dirty secret about forbearance, and you should all be doing content around this if you want to be in the distressed space. So number one is that a lot of these banks are saying, yeah, we'll give you 90 days of no payments, but your payments due in 90 days.
Right.
So all they're doing is deferring it for 90 days. So if you have a $2,000 a month mortgage payment at the end of your 90 days, so I guess it would be 120 days, now you owe them $6,000. And if you don't have that money, now you're officially in default. So that's how it's working. So you need to, you need to be telling, listen, don't just start skipping your payment without calling your bank, and make sure that you understand what the terms are going to be, because many of them are working like this, where you have to owe the money. So all you have to do is spend 20 minutes on Google and find about the pros and cons of forbearance, put together a quick 1 minute, 2 minute video, and post it on Facebook. And now you're the expert on forbearance, and encourage people to call if they want help, setting up their forbearance. And what it'll tell you is you'll create a pipeline of people who are struggling making their payments and may or may not be able to get it back on track in time, and who might find themselves in a situation where they need to figure out, they want to just sell their house and cash out and go into something a little more stable, or they're finally going to use this as a reason to, go live closer to mom, or whatever the situation is.
Yeah, I completely agree.
It's a perfect topic for this time period, and it answers, it's a buyer, both a consumer alert and a sales solicitation.
And if you guys want to,
and it brands you as an expert.
Yeah, it sure does. In fact, I'm looking up Fred's because last week I did, he's posting old concert. They pulled off a Lee and they watched a video of a concert. Oh my gosh, I'm starting a trend amongst my friends. By the way, hashtag concerts at home every Friday night. I'm going to start that as a trending thing. So I did this video that you're looking at right now with Fred Solomon and a guy named Steve White who does credit repair. And I was able to do Lee Honish, the old banker routine. And I want to point this out to everybody, especially when you're giving advice out on these topics. By the way, I knew I was shooting video. There's the backdrop. I'm not doing anything special. I'm staring at the camera the entire time. If I have to move off camera, I try not to break eye contact. Steve White, who clearly hasn't ever shot this kind of video, doesn't know what he's looking at. This is literally 4 different people. Fred has done it before, and he's almost sitting on top of it. And John's using Zoom itself, which comes with the really slick backdrops, which, by the way, I might be into just for the slick backdrops. But in this video, they were using me as the banking example. And if you want to go check it out, go to Fred Solomon Broker on Facebook. You can see it midway down. But I was able to, and I want to talk about this because David knows it, and I realize I'm recording it. And as a former banker, I can safely say this, nor can I recommend, please consult with your attorney, doctor, CPA, tax guy, or a professional home loan advocate representative. It's a stated deal. I'm just shocked. I had a friend recently call who was trying to get something out of either their car manufacturer or like a car deal or something out of their bank. And they told them the truth. And they went, you make money. You make too much money. We can't help you. I said, now you got to call them back on Friday and tell them you're not making money. Well, won't they check? I said, how are you checking on 15 million people? Like, I don't even know what that system would look like. I mean, I've been at the bank for a very long time, David. Nobody, and I'm going to say this because this is going back to 2007. In 2007, nobody had a problem doing a no doc, low doc, spit and spackle stated income loan that was so completely fraudulent that it shocked me every time I looked at one. But now when it comes to talking to the bank about making a forbearance agreement or a loan modification or any kind of, settlement or anything, any kind of help, everybody gets religious. Well, I do have this side job where shut up, you make no money. Please help. And I'm kind of blown away by it. And I guess I should be happy that the American public is so honest because I've heard that story more times than not. But the reality is there is no way for the bank, especially if you're asking for a forbearance or some kind of modification or some kind of restructuring, how are you going to check 15 million pieces of paper? I know you're filling out forms. I get it. I get how you got your loan in the first place. I get it. But just tell the bank you don't have any money. Fill out all the forms. We talked about this last week. Ask for everything. All they can do is say no at this point because this isn't going to end anytime soon. A little aggressive, David?
No.
I said it.
I think it's just fine.
Somebody had to say it. I said it on this video, so go check it out, where I got very gut-wrenchingly honest about being an asset manager and the reality of one guy who's managing 100 or 150 or 200 or 300 files, depending on what they're doing in that particular section, because forbearance and modifications, that's high-level work. This isn't like, I just threw it together in my sleep. It's rewriting terms of loans. Like, they're not going to trust that to just India. Somebody like me is sitting there actually looking at files and folders and trying to figure this stuff out. And we're doing it based on what you tell us. So I say this to all of you who are real estate agents, who are giving out advice to your clients. Don't let them shoot themselves in the foot. It's kind of painful to watch people right now. Just, the bank is not your friend. The bank is still not our friend, David, and they don't have any liquidity. They have no liquidity right now, David. First of all, go to Home Loan Advocates, 805-413-8000. Make your final plug for Home Loan Advocates, David.
Well, if you need help with a short sale or distressed property of any kind, call 805-413-8000, 805-413-8000, and David at homeloanadvocates.com.
Go to Honish.com, fill out the form, ask me for help. It's free. I have nothing better to do, or I'm going to wind up watching more Tiger King. I am. Thanks.